Hey everybody, it's John King. It is Friday, the 21st of February, 2025. We are almost 2 full months into the new year, and super excited to come to you today with my weekly market updates. I'm going to go ahead and dive right into my weekly market updates for you. First and foremost, let's start with the big one, the most recent news. Can't go a week without housing that is impacted by the new administration. Again, I don't care what your position is. I'm just reporting the facts of what I'm seeing. Right now, there is now the concern that Trump is going to get rid of FHA. Now, is that true? I don't think so. HUD is the parent company, is the parent division that oversees FHA. And Trump and the Department of Government Efficiency is going through all departments and saying, hey, we've got to cut back staffing. We need to remove the number of people that are doing the job because they feel, whether you agree or not, they feel like there's a lot of excess capacity, more people to do the job than what the job actually requires. It's a mantra that that Musk has utilized in all of his businesses. I read his biography a year ago, and one of the things that Musk talks about is removing components until the system breaks. And as soon as it breaks, you know that last component couldn't or shouldn't have been removed. So what's happening is they are trimming the workforce because the truth is, in their opinion, whether you agree or disagree, there's a lot of waste in the federal government. So they're cutting everything back. Now they're saying, oh my gosh, we're going to cut back half of the people at HUD. That is, from everything I'm reading, that is not the case. Excuse me. And we're seeing a 10% reduction in the staffing at HUD. But really what it has to do with is it has to do with programs that impact construction of homes, which is important, but it's not an impact to single family housing. We don't see any impact to FHA or financing of homes for buyers using FHA. So HUD's cutback for sure may impact the bigger picture of housing projects that are coming out, grant programs that may be available for certain nonprofits. Those things are very, very important to the housing ecosystem. But no, I do not see them actually getting rid of FHA. FHA is here to stay. I don't see them causing challenges with FHA. FHA operates without the federal government's involvement during the loan process. So the fear mongering you're seeing out there about, hey, Trump's going to get rid of FHA, even if he scales back the number of people that are working FHA, they're working behind the scenes. They're working on the back end, and that is not causing that's not a cause for alarm in your ability to take advantage of or get an FHA loan. All right, second topic I want to talk about today. First of all, I got to get this frog out of my throat, so give me 1 second. Let's see if that helps. I don't know. Second thing, rates are down this week. The question is, will it continue? That's always the question. Let's look at kind of what's happening here with interest rates. Let's make this a little bit bigger. This is the 10-year Treasury. This is only going back a little bit, just about a month. So if we were to look, the 10-year Treasury is not mortgage rates, but it is a pretty good comparison. It's kind of like the dog and the leash. You got the person walking the dog, and you got the dog, and they can kind of, walk in front of or behind each other, but they got to stay pretty close to one another. That's very good analogy for the relationship between the 10-year Treasury and mortgage rates. And what we saw is back in early January, the 12th, 13th, 14th, we were at about 4.8% on the 10-year Treasury. And then rates had fallen and fallen and fallen. They had hit their low on February 5th. And then we had the jobs report come out that created concern. We had an inflation report come out that created more concern. Rates spiked back up again. Now they're starting to come back down. The market's calming a little bit. We're actually at the lowest rates we've seen really since October of last year. That doesn't translate to a really low rate. What we're looking at still is rates in the high sixes. But back here, we were looking at rates in the low to mid sevens. So we're seeing rates improve. That's a good sign. The bad sign is this line right here has basically not been broken in a while. So if we look back and we look historically, the last time we had rates this low was December. And once it went above, it touched again and it bounced back off. It touched again. Now, if we look at the patterns, that means it's going to bounce back off again because this same level right here served as a peak. Rates touched the peak right here, touched the peak and came down, touched the peak and came down, touched the peak and came down. And then as soon as they broke through that level, they stayed above and they touched it and they went up and they touched it. And so the chances are this is the best rate we're going to see until something changes. So as things bounce up and down, they typically find thresholds that they'll either keep bouncing up against as they're going up, and then once they cross over, they'll bounce down against as they're going down. So bottom line is, we don't know what tomorrow is going to bring literally, but statistically it says, hey, this is a very important point. If rates go lower than they are now, well, they stay there for a while, because they were literally, once they broke through this number 2 months ago, they stayed above it for the entire 2 months. So if they go below that number, there's a good argument they're going to stay below that number moving forward. So that's a pretty good indicator of me saying absolutely nothing. Like, I have no clue what's going to happen. What I do know is it's a really good sign if rates keep going down from here. If rates bounce up from here, that's even more reinforcement that these high sixes are the lowest we're going to be in the near term. All right, so let's see. I got a question here. All right, so I got a question about Dream for All. I'll get to that in a couple of minutes, Ricardo. If you have questions about anything, feel free to post them. I'll get to them at the end, but I'm going to set that one aside. If you have questions about what I'm talking about, I will absolutely answer right away. If it's a question about something unrelated, I'm happy to answer it, and I'll cover it at the end. All right, next topic I want to talk about. Is it time for you to become a landlord? So I know a lot of you, especially those of you on my Dream for All channel, you're saying, John, I haven't even bought my first house. Well, then it's probably not time for you to become a landlord. But if you have purchased a home, if you do own a home, you may want to consider becoming a landlord at some point down the road. It's not as hard as what you might think. And I'm not telling you it's an easy thing, but it's a great way to diversify your portfolio. It's a great way to have long-term appreciation on a home that somebody else is making the payment on. I'm not going to go very deep into this. I'm simply going to say, if you're interested in learning about the idea, then subscribe to my new channel. So it's youtube.com/@CanILandlord, CanILandlord. So if you want to find out, can you become a landlord, then check out my YouTube channel, subscribe. You'll be one of the first few, because it's literally a brand new channel. I think I have 2 videos on there and 3 more that I've recorded that we're waiting to upload. But it is going to be really good content for you, whether you're thinking of buying a home as a rental property now, whether you're thinking of converting your current home to a rental property when you buy your next one, or you're still trying to buy your first one, but you want to learn about what it's going to take to become a landlord down the road. This is a great channel for you to subscribe to. So go over to my other channel, youtube.com/@CanILandlord, if you want to get information about what does it take to become a landlord, what issues do I need to deal with. I'm going to continually update that channel with really, really good content. All right. I just published a video an hour ago about this topic, so I'm not going to take very much time talking about it, but I want to tell you, if you are owning a condo, if you're thinking about owning a condo, if you are a real estate agent, you need to check out this video. It is on my Dream for All channel and my John Lone King channel, and it is about recent laws, not recent, 5-year-old law in California that just came home to roost. I have had 3 transactions canceled in the last 3 weeks because of this law. Condos are going to be harder to finance in 2025 than they've been since the Great Recession in 2008, 2007. We are seeing issues with condos that if you are interested in condos, if you're just interested in the housing market and how it works, if you own a condo or know somebody who does, you have to watch this video because it is critical. It's 30 minutes, but it is jam-packed with information that you need to know about what's happening in the condo market and how condos are being impacted. If you're thinking about buying a condo, super important for you to understand how all of this works. All right. Next thing, again, a lot of quick hits today. Tax time. So stop overpaying Uncle Sam. A couple of reasons why I'm saying this. First of all, it is time to get your taxes in. If you're waiting for a tax refund, it's time to get your taxes in. A lot of people are concerned because the IRS is laying off a lot of workers. The workers on their way out are saying, hey, that's going to delay your tax refund. I don't know if that's true or not, but if you're waiting for a tax refund, it's time to get your taxes in. So don't delay, don't drag your feet. Now, if you owe money, you really need to think about, hey, what do I need to do to minimize the amount of money that I owe? And I have 2 things that I want to say. First of all, obviously, home ownership. That tax write-off for being a homeowner, you get to write off your interest, you get to write off your property taxes. It is a big win for homeowners when it comes to their taxes. The second quick hit I want to hit with you is if you are self-employed, talk to me before you file your taxes if you're thinking of doing a loan in the next 2 years. Historically, it's always been, hey, file a high amount of profit so that you can qualify for a mortgage. So what if you have to pay your Uncle Sam? You're better off because now you can qualify for a conventional loan. Well, I have a horror story of a client that met with one of my colleagues recently that did exactly that. They actually met with a tax preparer who's also a loan officer. and they filed a significant amount of profit from their business. They owed like $35,000 in taxes to the IRS because of it. And oh, by the way, the loan officer couldn't even approve them for the amount of money they were hoping to get approved for. They sat down with my team. We talked to them about bank statement loans, and they were a perfect candidate for bank statement loans. And then they got super depressed because they were concerned. They owed $35,000 to the IRS that they wouldn't have had to pay had they known about the bank statement loan ahead of time. So don't make that mistake if you're self-employed. Don't overpay Uncle Sam. If you're looking to buy or refinance a home in the next couple of years, talk to me first. All right, last thing I'm going to talk about before I move on to any questions you guys might have. I already had a live stream earlier this week on my California Dream for All channel about this Wednesday night. New down payment assistance loan from the state of California, from Cal HFA. It is an enhancement to the programs that they already have. It is going to give you up to 5.5% in down payment assistance so that you can cover down payment and some of your closing costs. I'm super excited because it should come with better interest rates, especially on FHA loans, than what we are seeing currently with the Cal HFA and not Dream for All, but Cal HFA and using an FHA loan with My Home. Rates are high. And we think we're going to have, especially with Zip, and we think we're going to have better interest rates with this new program. So I'm super excited about this new program. Check out the video on my Dream for All channel about that. Finally, guys, it's time for questions. So a lot of quick hits today. So let's dive in and answer any questions you may have. The only one I had so far was from Ricardo, and he said, should I get my hopes up if I'm 140 in LA County? I think the answer is, yeah, I think you've got a really good shot right now in LA County, but I'm worried about how quickly the wait list is going to move. LA County, their uptake, their percentage of usage in the state is lower than what their population percentage is. So that tells me that LA County is not using up their vouchers as quickly as other regions. So I'm inferring in here that there's a lot of unused vouchers in LA County. So it's a really, really good sign. LA County has 25% of the vouchers in the state, but they only represented 13% of the fundings in 2024. So if we think about the math, there were 1,100 fundings in 2024. So 1,100 fundings, if they were 13%, what are we looking at here? About 150 Dream for All vouchers used in LA County. And if there's 2,000 vouchers minimum statewide, once we account for the fact that not everybody's using $150,000, now you're looking at, well, gosh, 25% of that is 500. So if we do that math, you have 500 vouchers available in Los Angeles County. And by my rough math, you have 150 vouchers that were redeemed in 2024. So there's 350 people still out shopping. And if only 150 bought in 6 months, then of the 350 that are still out shopping, only 150 of them will buy in the second 6 months, which means there'll be 200 more of those people that will roll over to you, Ricardo. So I think you should absolutely have your hopes up, but just don't set all of your dreams on it. My worry is timing, because the state also has said that they're giving grace to LA County voucher holders and giving them extensions of 30 days at a time for an indefinite period of time because of the fires. If a person in LA County says, hey, I was impacted by the fires and that's hurting my ability to utilize my voucher, or because the fires there aren't enough houses for sale in my price range, and so the fires cause an issue that means I can't use my voucher, then they are giving that person a 30-day extension. And they've said it's not just going to be one 30-day extension. They're not guaranteeing how many extensions they're going to give. They're not guaranteeing that they're going to continue to give extensions. But what they are saying is there's no current limit to how many extensions they're going to give. So based on my math, we've got 350 voucher holders in LA County. That's my ballpark, total ballpark math, which means of those 350, they all could continue to extend month after month after month. And so is it going to roll over to you? I think it will. But at the same time, if you keep giving all these people an indefinite amount of time to find a home, sooner or later they will. Some of them will give up. Some of them don't qualify anymore. I don't know that that really helps you feel better or not. I think your chances are great, but that impact of automatic extensions, not automatic. They're going to call. They're going to say, hey, are you still looking? Are you still being impacted by the fires? If you say yes, then they'll give you another 30-day extension. So that's my biggest worry right there. It does not look like I have any other questions. If anybody is watching right now and has questions, feel free to post your questions. I just want to end with this as I'm waiting for anybody to post questions. Guys, there's a lot changing. It's the spring market. We're seeing a lot more houses coming on the market, and we're seeing a lot of concern about, are the buyers coming back? Now, with rates dropping a little bit, I think that'll bring more buyers potentially into the market. But just realize good houses go quickly. Doesn't matter what the market is like. It doesn't matter whether houses are sitting on the market for a long period of time or not. The good houses, good condition, good price, good neighborhood, they move fast. So don't wait and say, oh my gosh, I found the perfect house, but I'm going to wait because I want the price to come down. Good houses move quickly in every market. All right. Ricardo says, thanks. Does Cal have to release numbers to get an idea of my odds after March 30th? They don't release numbers. Everything I get comes from me begging, me stalking. I check out all of their financial reports. I check out their board meetings. I have a few people that I know at Cal Haffa that I kind of try and get tidbits of information from, but they don't release any numbers. There will be no numbers. All right. Thank you. I appreciate you as well. All right. And then I've got Lee has a question. If I already signed a purchase contract for a house but haven't closed, can I still use a voucher? I'm not sure I understand the question, so if you can put a clarifying comment in there, I'd appreciate it. What I'll say is, let's say you're in contract and you get a voucher while you're in contract, can you switch? Sure. Your lender needs to have enough time to process your loan as a Cal Haffa loan. Now, if you were already doing a conventional loan and you were doing it with your own down payment, then the appraisal they got is fine. If you were doing an FHA loan, actually, technically, even an FHA appraisal can be used on a conventional loan. Okay, so it looks like you said you're set to close at the end of May. So I'm guessing new construction, because the way you say set to close and resale homes don't have that kind of, you don't use that wording if it's resale. So yes, talk to your builder, talk to your builder's lender. The problem is your builder's lender able to do Dream for All? If not, I'd love to help you out, but is your builder's lender, so yeah, he says, I haven't locked a loan yet and that it is new construction. So is your builder's lender giving you is the seller builder giving you a credit for using their lender? If they are, and if your lender does not do Dream for All, then you have to choose. Do I take the seller credits and no Dream for All, or do I take Dream for All, work with John King, and not get the builder's credit? So it's a trade-off. Best of both worlds is one of two things. Either A, the builder's lender does it, which is great, or B, and I had one of these that closed 2 weeks ago. It was actually a new construction condo in LA County. I think LA County, Riverside, no, LA, where the builder's lender wouldn't do Dream for All. So the builder's sales rep went to bat for the buyer because there was a $10,000 credit on the line. And they would only do the $10,000 credit if you used their lender. But because their lender didn't do Dream for All, the builder went to management. Management approved the $10,000 credit, even though they were using me. That's the first time I've seen that in years, but it is possible. So always ask for it. If the builder's lender can't do it, then say, hey, look, there's a program out there. You guys are basically harming me by stopping me from being able to take advantage of this program or having to choose between that program and the credit from the builder. And let's see, it worked. It worked only once, but it worked. All right. So, and he said, yes, the builder does Dream for All and lender credit is $20K. So stick with that lender because that's 20 grand. You can switch to Dream for All. That lender will take care of you. And then just come back to me when it's time to refinance. I'll be able to help you out with that. And I'm absolutely interviewing for the job to take care of all of you guys, whether it be on your purchase or your refi down the road. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap now, guys. I really appreciate your time. It does not look like there's any other questions. Hope everybody has an absolutely wonderful weekend. Watch my video about condos. Check out my Can I Landlord channel and have a wonderful weekend. We'll talk to y'all soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.